10, 15. I'll try a new one. Okay, this one seems better. Welcome. This is UFO, and today I'm gonna show RGB chess. So, also sorry for the beginning. I just wanted to find a good puzzle. So, in this video, before I start with the puzzle itself, I'm gonna quickly go over how chess movements work. I'm not gonna cover RGB composition or XORing. You could check out Simon Swindles or Whiteout for help on that. So quickly, let's go over chess movements. So the knight first looks like a horse, and it moves in L movements, like so. So, for example, it will always go 2 in one direction and then 1 in the other direction to make it L. So, for example, here it goes 2 right and 1 up, or here it goes 2 right, then 1 down to make, like to move the knight properly. The bishop moves with all the diagonals it's on. So, for example, it's on this big diagonal, and it's on this big diagonal, and it's allowed to move through those. For the next one, it would be a rook, which can move on the same rows and columns it's on. So, for example, it can move like this, like this. I didn't mean to do that. Oops. This, this, and this. So you can see it moves in the same rows and it moves in the same columns. The queen is a combination of the rook and bishop. So like this. Oh, I did that accident. So you can see here, it takes the same row and column concept, and it also takes the diagonals. And finally, the easiest piece, which is king, is the 3x3 grid alongside it. So it can only move one piece at a time. So for the module itself, it starts with a 6x6 grid. So it has all the colors in the standard RGB chart. On the side, it has 2 numbers, the piece counter, which is like the amount of moves you have. You always have 4. And this one, which is the amount of interactions you have. This is usually between the lowest I've seen is 5 actually, and the highest I've seen is like 15. I think the other one before I reloaded at 15. Anyway, the bottom has the chess pieces as king, queen, rook, bishop, knight. And as you click this button, it shuffles through all the possible colors you can place. To place a piece, you click the piece, and you click the spot you want to place it, and the counter goes down, and to undo it, you just simply click the piece again. So I'm going to make a black grid. So also, I'm going to use the interactive for this tutorial. So the goal of the puzzle is we take this black grid and we use chess pieces to make this, which is our final result. So let's begin. We are going to start by let's simulate this like it's a diffuser and expert. So I'm gonna tell the expert the read for RGB chess is black, white, black, 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 red, black, 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 white, black, red, yellow, blue, white, black, black, yellow, cyan, blue, black, black, green, red, blue, cyan, black, green, black, red, 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 yellow, red, red, red. And you would have these in your notes, and this is your final position. And then my strategy for this puzzle in general is find obvious places to put pieces. So what I mean by that is using your knowledge of how chess pieces move, you want to find like a pattern where you could place an obvious piece and it would like it's really the only place it can go. And I see two immediately, but the easiest is this red rook. Because if we put a rook here, it covers this entire row besides this point, which we'll get to, and this entire row except this point. So we're going to start with that. So I'm going to get a red rook, and I'm going to place it at Foxtrot 6. Um, do note that whenever you place a piece, it places the color up under it too. So it'd be like this, where covers all these squares and it covers all these squares. And wherever the piece normally all the movements it can go, it covers all those squares in the color it is in. In this case, it is red, so we're gonna place it all in red. And I'm gonna save this so we can come back to it if we need to fix it. So now that we have all these red, we can try to find another place to place an obvious piece. And what I was thinking immediately was this kind of shape here, where it starts with the yellow, and it goes diagonally, and then it goes diagonally again here. And it looks like it would be a bishop. So, I'm gonna try to do a bishop here. One thing to note, you do not, like for example, I wouldn't place a yellow bishop here because whenever two colors overlap, it just doesn't like erase the first color. It XORs the two colors. For example, if I did put a yellow bishop here, it would XOR red and yellow, which would make this spot actually green. So instead, I want to find the color where I can XOR red to get yellow, and which actually is green. So we're gonna get green bishop, and we're gonna put it at Charlie 6. First I like putting all the blank spaces, so you guys turn green, and then we'll do the other spaces. Red and green, XOR to make yellow, red and green, XOR to make yellow. And we're gonna save. Oh, and also another thing to note, quickly. Pieces do not block each other. Meaning, like, while normally in the regular game of chess, if you had this, and you were trying to capture the white queen, so normally in the game of chess, if you're trying to capture this this piece, your king is blocking it, so you can't like access it. However, in RGB chess, pieces don't block each other, meaning these two squares are still colored by red, even though they are blocked by the bishop. So now we have two of the four pieces placed. And one thing I was thinking of like how to continue the puzzle, was here, these two green places turn into cyan, and to turn a green space into cyan, we would need to XOR by blue, and these spaces around it are also blue, so we would um, use a king, since like in the 3x3 grid, we imagined it go past the border, this would be a 3x3 grid, and the king can go here. So I am going to place a blue king here, and I'm gonna color the blank spaces first, and then I'm gonna color the overlapping spaces. Blue XOR green is yellow, well, actually no, blue XOR green is cyan, and then blue XOR green is cyan. And then we have one last piece to place, and we need to get these white spaces. And you might have already noticed, but these have the position of a knight, since you can make a L with these pieces. So I'm going to use a white knight, since if you we need to get yellow from this blue, and blue XOR white is yellow, or they're just opposite colors. So if you XOR white, you just take the opposite color. So I'm going to put a white knight here at Bravo 1, and I'm going to put it there. I'm going to then color the spaces, and then blue XOR white is yellow. And then we have the original design with all the colors placed, all the pieces placed, and the exact same colors. Now, before I submit, I'm going to show what happens when you have the wrong formation. So I'm going to have the white knight here. I'm going to put a blue king here instead of here. And I'm going to put two random pieces, so I'll just put you and you. When you put 4 places, it immediately submits, and the background turns X if it's wrong, and if once it submits, and if it's wrong, it flashes, the pieces flash color. If a piece is green, it's in the correct position, it has the correct color and type. If it's yellow, it's in the correct position but the wrong color or type. And black, if it's in the wrong solution or not in that position for the solution. And you do get one freebie before it strikes you, which is very forgiving of the module. But finally, we're just going to submit the solution. So I'm going to put the white knight here, the red rook here, the green bishop here, and the blue king here. And then if it was correct, it will show green exclamation points and the module will solve. So overall, RGB Chess isn't a hard module. It's just that it takes a lot of like logic, and you need to know how to do like RGB composition, and you need to know how to have like the chess pieces move. I say it's harder than lousy chess because like in the sense of you have to do more like logic and stuff, but like easier with like you have to do less work overall. So that was the tutorial.